Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Today, Thursday, 10th of June, and today I want to talk about what I think sales leaders should prioritize, should focus on in 2021 and beyond. And let me ask you a question. If you are a sales leader, has your sales leadership style changed since February, March 2020? Have you changed your leadership style, or is it the same? Because for a year and a half now, not all companies, but a lot of companies face uncertainty and they struggle to operate and sell their products. Therefore, if you want to be an effective leader, it may have a whole new set of requirements and style. So if you're still leading the same way that you used to, now is the perfect time to adjust, to change, to adapt your leadership style in order to meet what? In order to meet your companies, your organizations, and your people's needs. So in other words, maybe it is the time now to rewrite the sales leadership handbook. Why? Because the events of 2020 with the pandemic up until now have fundamentally changed what? Changed many things, but one thing that they changed is the way sales leaders need to engage, manage, empower, and lead their people. Right? You agree with that? So what I would like to share with you today is some priorities which I think all sales leaders should focus on moving forward. Number one, have a positive mindset as a sales leader. Be a role model of a positive mindset. Why? Because mindset is a top asset for any sales employee. If you manage salespeople, you know that. Therefore, sales leaders have the power, or should have the power, to influence their organization, their department, their team with their attitude. So if you're a sales leader, before you do anything else, you have to decide what? Every day. What your mindset is going to be. Because it is your job as a sales leader to create a strong foundation for your company, for your department, for your team. And then get really clear about what is expected from your people, what is expected from you, and so on. Because the mindset of a sales leader can really set the tone for the working habits of the entire company, of the entire department. So be a role model, or model, a positive mindset. My second suggestion is to support your sales managers or to support your sales leaders. Why? Because right now sales managers experience a great deal of pressure from all sides, from different sides. Because not only they are accountable for their salespeople, but they're also accountable to leadership who looks to them to deliver on the targets. So in many organizations that I coach, I see this. The relationship between a sales manager and a sales director, or the VP of sales, or the owner of the company, evolves around reporting on performance, KPIs, and that's it, which is not bad. But if the relationship is only like this, it leaves little room for development. So as a sales leader, you should provide consistent support to your sales managers through clear expectations, through clear communication, and then you will see that the entire team will benefit. So support your sales managers. Another thing that sales leaders should focus on is to use remote work to their advantage. Because you don't have a choice, actually. You know, the transition to remote selling has been a big adjustment for many companies starting from 2020, and it continues. You know, and those kinds of sales representatives that were working inside sales may have had a smoother transition. But for the people that are working, let's call it in the field, visiting clients, there is plenty of opportunity for improvement. So what you should do as a sales leader, you should look for opportunities to connect with your remote sales force in ways that you could not before. So use remote work to your advantage. Because if you have that ability to virtually connect with people and show them that you are there, it will create a lot of opportunities for synergy between sales leaders and your workforce. Don't procrastinate. Don't say, I will leave them as they are now, and when we go back to normal, when? In 2 years' time, in 2024. Technology is bringing us closer. There is no reason why you as a sales leader are not able to connect and coach and motivate and empower your people remotely. The next one, and I think this is one of the biggest ones, is to have a structured hiring plan. I see it through my coaching. Many organizations, they lack a structured approach to hiring, which is detrimental to their success. Because I see organizations repeatedly mishire, which is extremely expensive. So if you have a team that doesn't know how to effectively interview candidates, or they don't have assessments in place to pre-screen candidates, you will run the risk of hiring the wrong people. And hiring the wrong people, talking from experience of 15 years in the corporate world, I've managed teams in Asia, in UK, in Europe, is one of the, hiring it should be top of your list. Having that experience, that practical experience, I talk from practical experience and coaching experience. You need to make sure that your managers, your recruitment people, or the sales managers, maybe who are recruiting their own teams, that they have the tools they need to make good hiring decisions. How do you do this? First of all, you can create a structured interview process. You can include, maybe you can work with them if you have more experience to build out hiring profiles. This is something I help companies do. Revamp their hiring process, structure it. Send me a message if this is something that you would like to improve. Hiring decisions really can make or break a company, especially a sales organization which is in a very competitive business environment. So please, I cannot stress the importance of having a structured hiring plan. It saves you time, it saves you money, it saves you frustration, it sets you up for better success, it protects your company reputation. Because if you don't know how to hire people, if your managers don't have the people skills to read people through the interview, to read people through interviews, and then to retain them, to develop them, you will end up having a revolving door. One gets hired, one leaves. One gets hired, one leaves. So you will never grow. So please, if you're a sales leader, pay attention to hiring the right people. The next thing that you should also do is to understand your salespeople. This is my next point. You cannot motivate somebody unless you know them. You cannot motivate somebody unless you understand them. All these stupid managers out there think that they dangle the carrot, the money, the incentives, and that's going to motivate. It's bullshit. You will be surprised. Again, talking from practical experience, talking from results when I coach. In most salespeople are not, salespeople are money motivated. But money, it is not the only thing that they are driven by. They are driven by other things as well. So take the time to connect and get to know your salespeople in your company. It is a time that you can invest in. Because when you understand what their personal goals are, you can do a better job coaching and leading them to reach those goals. So when you sit down with your people, the first question that you should ask over a coffee is, hey, John, what are you looking to achieve over the next 6 months? And John will say something like, they will either say something personal or professional. So if they say something professional, first, I want to save money, I want to get promoted, I want to reach X amount of sales. You say, great. What are you looking to achieve on a personal level? And vice versa. If they say, on a personal first, then professional. Because then you know what they want to achieve. And if you are a sales leader, you should come from a sales background anyway. So exactly when you are asking your clients, your potential clients, sales questions to find out the needs and wants, and then see if your solution is a good fit, this is the same approach that you should have with your salespeople, getting to know them. So please understand your salespeople. It's not just the carrot and the stick, the dangle, the carrot. We don't live in colonial era anymore. So what you can do, if you're a sales leader, to have regular, often, once a week, once every 2 weeks, some coffee meetings, virtually or face-to-face, where you can connect with your team members. It doesn't always have to be performance. Don't mix up. Don't turn it into a performance review. Performance review is different. Performance review, accountability is different. Ask them, what are you struggling with? Tell me an area of opportunity. When they tell you, what are you struggling with? I'm struggling with follow-up. You catch it. This is an area of opportunity for their professional development. So what you can do, you can go back, create half a day or 1 day sales training on how to do proper follow-ups to avoid your people getting ghosted from clients. And from there, you can help the sales representative create a game plan to address or to fix this particular skill. And you can do some role plays. But you don't know what they are struggling with unless you ask. And then something else from somebody else and something else from somebody else. So please, understand your people. The next thing that I think sales leaders should prioritize moving forward is communication skills. I do believe that communication is critical. Good communication is critical for healthy organizations, especially for healthy sales organizations. When I am evaluating sales leaders, when I do coaching, and when I work with the VP or the owner to create improvement plans for them, one of the first things I look at is what? Is for that person's communication style. So I evaluate their communication style so I can understand a few things. So look at your communication skills and look at the communication skills of your people as well. When I see leaders who manage behind the desk and through email, I know they're going to fail because it is difficult to be successful that way. Leaders cannot manage from spreadsheets, data, and CRM. Are you managing your people from spreadsheets, data, and CRM? Are you so stupid? I hope not. Don't get me wrong, spreadsheets, data, and CRM are great tools to have. But you have to be effective in the actual management of people, not tools. And as a leader, you should understand how you stack up in that area, your communication, in order to know what your people need to change and what they need to improve. And also about you, what you need to improve and what you need to change. You cannot manage people through email and behind desks, especially when you're managing salespeople. Yes, spreadsheets, data, CRM, number of calls, they will give you an indication to be effective as a leader, you need to know the actual management of people, not tools. Right? If now you are working remotely, you need to communicate with your people on a weekly basis, one-on-one, teams. Don't sell yourself the excuse, oh, we're working remotely, so my email is enough, or my WhatsApp message in the group. So strengthen your communication skills. Good communication, it is critical for healthy companies. The next one, what you should focus on moving forward, is to have a structured development and promotion plan in place. In many companies, the high-performing people, the high-performing individual, contributors are promoted, right? They get their role, the manager and the leader, team leader, because of what? Because of their ability to execute. If that is your company's only promotion strategy, you could be doing your company, you could be harming your company. I don't want to say that individual contribution doesn't make good leaders. I don't want to say it can, absolutely can, but in order for you, to develop the next generation of strong sales leaders, you really have to take a more, intentional approach. So, what do you need to look at? If you want to promote somebody to a leadership position in your sales company, I'm talking about sales, what do you need to look at? If the person is actually motivated to hit their goals, self-motivated, you can bring the bucket to the water, but you cannot make the water. You can bring the water to the horse, the bucket of water to the horse, but you cannot make the horse drink. The people that you are looking to promote, they should have shown and proved success. And you should, have a clear, profile of where you would see them moving, so you can determine if that's where they want to go. And when you have candidates, when you interview people, or maybe after 2, 3, 4 months, who could make a good fit for leadership, then what you should do, you should evaluate their skills to see where they're starting from. And this is where you put them into training. So, production, how much money they bring, it is not the only criteria. Consider other skills and attributes that they will need to be successful in their future leadership role, and help them develop those skills to meet the needs of your company, of your department. So by having a structured skills-based approach to leadership development and promotion, you are positioning your future leaders for success. which will then, inevitably help you with what? Help your company grow. Things are challenging, in the business world right now. Since, it's June, for a year and a half now, almost for a year and a half now, things are very challenging. So as we approach, as we are at the end, we're in the middle of 2021. We are approaching the third and the fourth quarter, the end of 2021. Now is the perfect time to revamp your sales leadership strategy, to set your team up, to set your company up, to set your department up for success. And you can be well positioned in the future, or better positioned. It is, as I said in the beginning, it is time to rewrite your sales leadership handbook and to look at your approach. And focus, please. Focus as a leader. Be direct. Don't be harsh. There is a difference between being harsh and being direct. Every employee, whether a salesperson or a checkout employee in a supermarket, every employee, how I see it, is a work in progress. So for the sake of their personal and professional development, they need clear and direct feedback. Tell them how they are doing. Communicate. And sometimes the problem is that some leaders take the clear, direct feedback to an entirely different level, because they worry they will not be heard unless, they are aggressive and harsh. If you want to have difficult conversations with your people, there are many ways to do it. And there are better ways than being harsh to approach having a difficult conversation. And this is how, according to me, effective leaders bring out the best in their salespeople. Put yourself in your people's shoes. Productive conversations start with empathy. But concrete examples and expectations and explanations are the things that create clarity. The goal of direct feedback should be able to help develop a skill, a desired skill or a behavior for your team member, for a specific team member. And if you as a leader, if you cannot clearly illustrate the behavior or the outcomes that you want to see from your people, it's going to be tough, I'm telling you from now. Especially when you're managing salespeople, It's not easy, my friends. But it is now the time to revamp your leadership skills. And it is a challenge for you. Can you do it or you cannot do it? Because as I said at the beginning, companies face uncertainty with their ability to operate and sell their products. Therefore, effective, influential, strong, meaningful leadership may have a whole new set of requirements. Because if you are still leading the way you used to be, good luck. But now is the time to adapt your leadership style to better meet the needs of your company, of your department, of your people. If you want to have a private conversation, do not hesitate to send me a message wherever you are watching me. I'm live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, according to the platform that you are watching. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this of value, and I will see you soon. Cheerio. Take care. Bye-bye.